Hey, Mike. What? Who's got Knicks?
What's good, y'all? It's your man, Hezo, and welcome back to the Blacktop, where I always got Knicks, you feel me? So we are back at it with another Hawks recap. Let's fucking go, man. 5 in a row. Ran the Knicks out the fucking building, and you love to see it. I love when we beat the Knicks. I'm so fired up right now. Just a great game.
With a miraculous shot.
Wow, what an incredible play by Trae Young. Defense broke.
Subscribe if you are new. Leave a like on the video. We keep inching closer and closer and closer to that 1,000 sub mark. We are on our way. So if y'all can help your boy out, I would greatly appreciate it. We got a lot to dive into. So let's get right into it. Man, I wish I had my authentic Dejounte jersey for this game because he just flat out dominated. I ordered a City authentic, and y'all see this beautiful Trae piece that I got behind me that I got for ordering the authentic City jersey. I'll have it soon, hopefully. This game started out and both offenses were hot from the tip. I mean, the Knicks were shooting the lights out. It was looking like they couldn't miss, and this is one of the worst shooting teams field goal percentage-wise in the NBA, and they shot like 80% in the first quarter alone. Julius Randle was having his way out there. He dominated the first quarter, but the Hawks were playing well offensively too. Moving the ball wasn't sticking. Everybody was eating. You love to see that, like I've been saying over the last couple recaps. But the Knicks shot 71% for the half, put up 40 in the first quarter and 70 in the first half in general, but they was only up 3. And I'm thinking, look, man, we're good. They're shooting the lights out. This ain't gonna continue in the second half. Shooting lights out, you're only up 3. I felt good. I felt good because Dejounte was having his way out there. JC had a very strong game, and we were just moving the ball and getting guys involved. You know, no team is gonna stay consistently shooting the rock at a 70% clip for an entirety of the game. Both teams kept trading baskets in the first half, but I knew at some point, the Knicks were gonna cool off. Again, there's no way that you're gonna shoot that high of a field goal percentage for an entire game. Then the second half, the Knicks kind of went cold. Atlanta came out the gate, jumped on them. The Knicks were missing shots. Atlanta goes on a 13-0 run to go up, I think, what was it? Like to go up 10 or whatever it was. Went up as much as 13. But then the Knicks answered. They went on their run, led by Julius Randle. And he really carried the Knicks the entire night, man. He did have a dominant performance, but he was a ghost in the fourth quarter. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. And the third quarter was just kind of back and forth. But the Knicks, you can see, definitely cooled off. I think after shooting like 80% in the first quarter, 71% for the half, they went down to, I think, 48% for the third quarter, for the whole quarter. Trae had a big third quarter. He was getting into the paint, finding his rhythm a little bit. He didn't really shoot the ball particularly well tonight, especially from 3. I think he finished 1 for 7 from 3, which that's fine, man. He still had a great game overall, both him and Dejounte. But the Knicks just kept answering the Hawks, small little runs. Eventually cut the lead down to 1 going into the fourth quarter. And then the fourth quarter, man, it was just pure dominance. I'm gonna give you the beam, man. Atlanta just purely dominated the entire fourth quarter with defense. Forced the Knicks into bad shots. They couldn't make anything. Julius Randle just turned into an absolute ghost. I don't even think he scored the entire fourth quarter. And credit the Hawks defense, man. They really stepped up and was able to close out this game with just knocking down shots and playing defense, forcing the Knicks into bad shots, forcing them into turnovers. Julius Randle looked extremely frustrated. They kept bringing a double, and nobody could help him. RJ Barrett, he hit a couple shots. Jalen Brunson hit a couple shots, but outside of those guys, the Knicks really didn't get any production from any other guys, while the Hawks were getting production for pretty much everybody. Everybody was eating for the Hawks, and you love to see it. Double O had a great game on the glass. Great game cleaning up offensive rebounds. Atlanta had a ton of second chance points tonight. That was a huge difference in this ball game. But at the end of the day, man, Dejounte Murray is him. He had such a great game. And I recall a Hawks fan on Twitter saying that Jalen Brunson is better than Dejounte Murray. How you feel, bro? How you feel about that comment? Dejounte flat out outplayed both Jalen Brunson, really had the best game probably all around tonight for the Hawks. Now, obviously, that wasn't his best game of the season, but this is one of Dejounte's better games that he's had all season, and he's been on a tear the last 5 games over this 5-game win streak. And Atlanta flat out just ran these guys out the building, man. Just knocking down threes, knocking down shots. Dejounte kept getting to that mid-range sweet spot that he loves and was just drilling it all game long. And just another beautiful way to execute late in the game to close out this game. Only up 1 going into the fourth quarter, and then you flat flat out dominate the entire fourth, which is something that we're starting to see. I won't say we're seeing a lot of lately in terms of dominance, but Atlanta's done such a great job of closing out games and executing late in games, and that's why part of the reason why we're on this 5-game win streak. Hell of a job, man, for the Hawks, fighting in the second half and really just dominated the entire fourth quarter, keeping this win streak alive to 5 games. Trae and Dejounte again had just an incredible night. Again, Trae didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he was doing a lot of other great things out there. Dejounte just did Dejounte things. JC stepped up tonight. His 3-ball has looked really good as of, well, not really good, but it looked like it's starting to get back into the form that we have seen JC knock down threes consistently. He hit 3 again tonight. Dre stepped up tonight again. You know, he's been pretty consistent all season long, in my opinion. He's knocking down the 3-ball, knocking down the mid-range. Dre was doing great things, and just a great overall performance for the guys tonight, man. You love to see it. So I'm gonna get into my final takeaways. Number 1 was the ball movement. Again, this is one that's kind of been in my takeaways over the last couple games, is the ball movement, and hopefully it continues. We've seen it's almost like a completely different team on offense over this win streak, and I think Atlanta has finally found their stride and found their identity. I said it last recap, I'm gonna say it again. This Hawks team looks so much different on the offensive end because the ball's not sticking. It's working around. Other guys are getting involved other than just Trae and Dejounte. Now, both of those guys took a lot of shots tonight. I get all that, but it was in good rhythm, and Dejounte just dominated the mid-range. So if it's there in the pick and roll, take it. I mean, they could not stop it. I'm gonna touch on that in my next point. But other guys still got involved. JC got shots. Dre got shots. Double O was getting shots in the paint. Bogey got shots. Even though he didn't have another great shooting night, he did play a little bit better after a very slow start tonight. He really got going in the fourth quarter and was a huge reason why Atlanta was able to go on that big run in the fourth quarter. Just beautiful ball movement. Hopefully we see that continue, and hopefully we can extend this win streak. So number 2 was the backcourt, Trae and Dejounte. Look, man, the pick and roll was there all night long. The Knicks couldn't stop it. They had no way to figure out how to get Dejounte out of that pick and roll, because every time Dejounte had the rock, he'd call that screen, he'd get to the mid-range. There was about like 6 or 7 shots in a row in the first half that Dejounte just kept dominating in the mid-range because they could not guard it. I don't understand how you keep having drop coverage and the center's not stepping up to contest the shot. It was there all night for Dejounte. It was there all night for Trae. The pick and roll just absolutely dominated the Knicks, and the Knicks are a pretty good defensive team, but they had no answer for tonight. And credit Trae and Dejounte for just abusing them and exploiting the Knicks defense, and really just kept going back to what was working. So my final takeaway for this game was the defense in the second half and the late game execution. Again, we've seen this over the win streak that Atlanta has played so much better down the stretch of ball games. We saw it again tonight. Knicks, only down 1 going into the fourth quarter, and Atlanta just dominated with defense, dominated with knocking down shots, just pure team basketball. And Atlanta again looks like a completely different team, which is executing late in ball games. And I really think that this is the season turnaround that we have all been waiting on. Now sitting 2 games above 500, we're only like a game, maybe a half a game out of the 6th seed. We're right there, man. And as hot as we are, we're playing good, we're playing good opponents. We have a relatively, and I wouldn't call it a favorable schedule, because there's really no such thing as a favorable schedule in the NBA, because any team can come out on any given night and win a ball game. But the way that the Hawks are playing right now, there's no reason why not to believe. Well, my phone just went off for an update. There's no reason why we shouldn't believe that the Hawks can continue this type of play and continue this win streak. And it's just great to see. So I'm gonna pretty much leave it there, man. Not a super long recap, but I feel like I covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. We got the Hornets in a back-to-back tomorrow night. It is a home game, so that's great news. But if all goes well, man, this should be another win, because the Hornets are not a good team. It looks like that maybe they're tanking. I don't really know what they're doing. Seems like they're trying to stay competitive, but at the same time, they don't want to win games. I don't know. The Hornets are a very confusing team to me. But if all goes well, I mean, that should be a dub, and we should extend this win streak to 6 games. And again, we're looking good, man, and I love to see it. We're looking great. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. What did y'all think about this game overall? What do you think about the upcoming schedule? As I always say at the end, leave a like on the video, and I will catch y'all next episode.